Hey guys, and welcome back to Brexit. Brexit Britain, a country who decided it was going to go swimming with dolphins. But unfortunately, Britain made a mistake. Instead of a bottlenose, Britain went swimming with a hammerhead. Loads of hammerhead sharks. And got one hand and one foot bitten off. Oh, but this is Brexit. So unfortunately, it would have been both hands and both feet bitten off. And also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages you sent me here, and a special thanks here to everybody who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up. Yeah, so thank you so much for that. I'll go through all the messages. I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all the messages for definite. So as I was saying before, yeah, you know, this variant has just come at the right time for Boris Johnson, because everything else all over the place is just fucking up. Do you know what I mean? We have a fucking epidemic of kids killing fucking kids in this country. Do you know what I mean? We've just had like four or maybe five boys, yeah, who have just gone down, yeah, for shooting, right, and stabbing, right, to death another, because these was, I think these boys was 14. They're 14 now, right? But for shooting and stabbing a 15-year-old, virtually outside his house, because his mum heard the shots. The boy who got murdered, his mum heard the shots, right? And you think to yourself, what the fuck is going on with these kids? It's like, I didn't really believe this, right? But a lot of these kids, they believe that if you stab someone or shoot someone, they're going to get back up, like what they see in the video games. That is what's going through a lot of their minds. That's going through a lot of their minds. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know how anybody has brought their child up to have that type of mindset. That's just, it's completely ridiculous, because because people don't get up after they've been stabbed and shot. They ain't getting up after that, right? It's not going to happen, right? They'll die because you'll kill them, right? So this is what needs to be, this is what needs to get through to a lot of these really young, because these kids are like, these kids was like 14. Do you know what I mean? And then we've got like in Liverpool, where this this 14, it looks like this 14-year-old kid looks like he's murdered this 12-year-old girl. Do you know what I mean? And you think to yourself, what the hell is this about? What, right? Firstly, right, when I was a kid, right, something like that would have been impossible. I mean, that kid would have had to have been there by himself, right, to have been able to stab a girl, right, like that, because my little crew, when we was that age, my little crew, yeah, would have never ever put up with that. We would have never ever allowed like one of our mates to hit a girl or anything like that. It would never happen, because that person would know that we'll all jump on them and beat the fuck out of them. And I mean, if woe betide someone who stabbed her. When I was that type of age, woe betide you if you stabbed a girl in front of you probably wouldn't have made it until the police got there. You probably would have got murdered with your own knife right there. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no way we were brought up with a different level of respect, especially for girls, because we all had sisters. Do you know what I mean? And we would never want anyone to treat our sister, right, in that way. So we all had proper respect for girls. Do you know what I mean? Right? So I don't understand how the kids nowadays, yeah, because this kid seemed to be with I think 4 of them got arrested. So this kid was with other kids. Do you know what I mean? And you can't tell me that these kids have watched this boy pull out a knife and stab this little girl. Do you know what I mean? That's just that's completely ridiculous. I don't understand that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the only way he's got out of this is if it was her knife and he's had to self-defend himself. Do you know what I mean? And what's happened to her has just been unfortunate. But it doesn't look like that. Do you know what I mean? Because he has been charged with having a bladed article as well. Do you know what I mean? So standard, that looks like the weapon obviously has been his weapon that he has taken to the Christmas, to the lighting, like to turn on the Christmas lights. Do you know what I mean? And you think to yourself, how the hell, right? I don't understand that at all. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand that at all. Do you know what I mean? How these type of things can be going on. Children murdering children. Do you know what I mean? This never used. Well, when I was a kid, that never used to go on. Do you know what I mean? That certainly never used to go on. You never used to have like kids murdering kids. Do you know what I mean? Because they've got all this postcode nonsense as well. Do you know what I mean? Where they're protecting a postcode that they don't even fucking own. You don't own the postcode, but you're protecting the postcode, and you're prepared to murder someone who lives like 10 minutes away from your postcode because they live off even 5 minutes away. Do you know what I mean? Even from one estate to another estate, which can be a matter of like a few hundred meters. Do you know what I mean? Just a different postcode. Do you know what I mean? So you can't step over certain barriers. Do you know what I mean? And like you think to yourself, this is crazy, because when I was that age, yeah, I used to be all over London, on my own as well. But I'd be all over London. Do you know what I mean? I'd be in like Dalston. Do you know what I mean? I'd be in Brixton. Do you know what I mean? I'd be in East London. I'd be all over the place. I'd be in North London, but I'd be in Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? Stokey. I'd be all over the place by myself. Do you know what I mean? And there was never none of this postcode nonsense. It's just a load of nonsense. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand. I don't understand where that shit has come from. Do you know what I mean? Well, how these guys are prepared to do this shit over some postcode nonsense. Do you know what I mean? And I can tell you, right, because that 14-year-old kid, right, because obviously he got I think he got what, 16 years, yeah, minimum, right? But that doesn't mean that he's going to get out after 16 years. That just means that's the minimum that he's going to stay there for. Do you know what I mean? But so that puts him what, 30 years old, right? But I can tell you, yeah, that kid would have already changed. Do you know what I mean? He would, because I think in the first few months, right, they'll have a little fight in them. Do you know what I mean? But once you realise, yeah, that you're just about to you're going to miss all of your teens, right, and all of your 20s. All of your 20s have gone, right? And while his friends, right, that are out on roads, right, are going to be getting education, they're going to be starting jobs, they're going to be going to clubs, they're going to have their first pint, all these type of things, right? His 21st birthday, right, is going to be spent in a cell. He's not going to get the key to the door. He might get a plastic one on a card if he's lucky, but he's not going to get a key to the door, right? Because he's still got another, he's still got a good 9 years to go after that shit, right? But that's if they deem, right, that he's okay to be let back out on the streets. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think a lot of these youngsters, they might act and say, you know what, yeah, I ain't afraid of jail. But I can tell you, right, that for definite, right, once you get them big sentences there, right, and you know something, it's just you behind that cell door. You're on your own. Right, that's it. Done. Yeah. Your life is finished after that. It's done. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got a life tariff as well, right? Which means that when if they do eventually let you out of prison, you can't even get into an argument with someone really, because if that person called the police for you, right, and then the probation service just say, no, we're going to send you back to prison for a couple of years, because that's how that's the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean? So I try and work with a lot of youngsters and try and explain to them. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of things out there, yeah, that they think to themselves is, a lot of them don't understand, yeah, a life sentence. They think, oh, that's nothing, man, because they don't understand it. Do you know what I mean? So this is why you've got 14-year-olds getting life imprisonment. And it's a really, 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 really sad thing. Do you know what I mean? But as I say, you see, Boris Johnson, he's busy with the whole corona now, because obviously we've got the new variant, right? And all day, yeah, that's been all over the TV and it's been all over the radio, right? While the country is falling to pieces, but it's good. As I said, it's good for the Tories, because for them, they're going to work out. They're going to get themselves a load more. They can get themselves a load more money out of this, and it takes up a lot of time from what's really going on. Because you see, look, we'll speak about some Brexit, all right? You see, Horizon, right? Because you know the EU, right, was allowing us back into the Horizon program. You know what the Horizon program is, right? It's like the scientist and medical research, right? And obviously our scientists really need to be in there, and they're really crying out to be in there, proper crying out to be in there, because they know they need to be in there. So, I mean, it's not really something they can be out of. So, right now, what's happened? Yeah, we've got it's in danger, right, because of the post-Brexit clash, right, over the Irish Protocol, where the EU are just saying, well, you know something, yeah, you keep on threatening Article 16, right? So you know what? We're freezing this now, right? Until you're, and you know, obviously until you're ready to play ball. But then, right, because we've got all that sovereignty, right? Tell me something, yeah. Tell me this. Right? We're out of the EU, right? Right? So how the hell, right, are the EU still telling us what the hell we can and can't do? We're out of the EU, we've left. You know, we've left. So we've taken back control, so we've left. Why are we, you have to say to yourself, why are we grovelling round the EU's ankles? What do we want? We're like a little terrier around their ankles, do you know what I mean? Saying, let. Oh my God, I'm making stupid noises like Boris Johnson. Right? We're like a little terrier, right, around their ankles. Right? What the hell's going on there? Because we've left the EU. Right? You know, this is the thing. We've left. But since we've left, right, there's been more talk around the EU than we ever used to get before. Since we've left. And you know, I don't understand that. Why is it, right? Why is it, right, that we decided that we wanted to leave, right? But we're the people, right, that are like, oh, but you know, but we still need, and we need this, and we still need that, and we, you know, we need to do this, and you know, but you've left. We have left. We've got our sovereignty back. 50% of it. Which is less than we had before, right? Sorry, no, hold on. No, we had a lot more sovereignty before, and now we've got 50%. Because as I said, the French has 25%, and the EU have the other 25%. You know, we're just lucky here that they haven't got like 51%, because then then we would be in real trouble. We'd be in real trouble then. Right? No. So yeah. So as I said, yeah. So what the EU have said, right? So what we're doing, right, is you keep on threatening the Irish Protocol, and you know you keep on messing us about, and we don't like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to freeze, right, this whole Horizon stuff, right? You know, until such a time, yeah, that you get your fat or narrow backside into gear properly, right, and start, right, implementing, right, what you agreed to. I mean, you know, you only agreed to it like, what is it, 11 months ago, 12 months ago. You agreed to it, right, and now you need to change all the shit needs to be changed. Well, the EU did. See, the thing is, but you see, what you've got to understand here is the EU hold all the cards. I know Brexiters, I know that's hard to understand. I know that your thick skulls cannot get round that, right? Because you're stupid and racist. So you can't get round that. But the EU hold all the cards, okay? That's the reason why they could just say to us, okay, you know what, we're just freezing that. And if you don't play ball, right, we will just cancel it. Done. Okay? That's it. Right? But obviously if we had anything that we could come back to them with, Yeah, apart from Article 16, which which they was never ever going to invoke. I mean, that would be catastrophic for this country if they done that. Because as you can see, yeah, the EU seem to be very vindictive. Or we're very stupid. Hmm. I'm going to go with number two. That this is a stupid country, right? And right, that 52%. No, I know it's not 52% of the population, but I like the number 52%. Right, so 52%, right, are stupid. Right, 52% of the people who voted for Brexit, right, are stupid, foolish, right, ain't got no sense at all. Right, you know, these are the type of people they probably have no sense of danger. Right, that would be them all the way. Right, so did you know, right, that the DUP, right, they're the people who do not understand politics, right? They're actually in court, right, over the Irish Protocol. They're actually in court because they need, right, the same shit what's going on in Britain to be going on over in it's Belfast, isn't it? Right? They need that to be going on there. You think to yourself, seriously, come on, man, be serious, right? This is just ridiculous. How can you want what's going on over here for there, right? Especially when you've got the best of both worlds. But you see, the foolish nature of these people, do you know what I mean? It's just unbelievable. The foolish nature, do you know what I mean? So they're in court. Right, at the moment, right, trying to, all to do with the Irish Protocol, probably trying to get it revoked. So, yeah, unbelievable, right, right. So we've got this. Has Brexiters got buyer's remorse? Right. It's right, beginning, right, to stalk even the most ardent Brexiter. They can no longer indulge in the fantasy. Because that's all Brexit was. It was a fantasy for these people. That's exactly what it was, right? Brexit isn't working. We were sold a false prospect. Businesses have said, especially small to medium businesses. Small to medium businesses are reeling. They're absorbing unwanted costs. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. And hidden tariffs, suffering hitherto unavoidable checks and exports on moving moving factories and depots and offices within the EU, shredding workers and hemorrhaging orders. Children's school trips to and from the EU have collapsed. It takes months to get visas. British science remains outside the EU's Horizon programme. That's what we were just talking about. Right? The biggest international science programme in the world. And so it goes on. Not from me. This is out one of the newspapers. Right? This is what businesses are saying. Right? Basically, they're saying, you know something, yeah, things are so fucking hard for us right now, right? And Brexit, right, was sold to them. The prospect of Brexit was sold to them, right? And now, right, their businesses are all collapsing, right? And they're having to move their businesses, their offices, their depots into the EU. But then you say, well, what was you expecting? But a lot of these people, yeah, they're ardent Brexiteers, hardened Brexiters, And now they just realise, right, how much of a major mistake they've made. It's taken them 11 months. We say it's only been 11 months because things are only going to get worse. Things aren't going to get any better. Things are just going to get worse. Right? So these business people, I don't know what they're expecting, right? But I'd say that the ones who can move into the EU, they're just going to do that. That's all they can do because they can't do anything else. Do you know what I mean? As I've said so many times before, right? This country can no longer attract any big business. Right? Just can't do it. Right? Not even to your free ports. Because what's the good of a free port? Unless because the thing with the free ports, their customs, they're tax free or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So, but where are you going to sell those goods? Why are you going to come over here, right? When you're going to have so much problems getting your stuff into the EU. What are you coming here for? Pointless. And then what, you're going to come here to sell your stuff all around the rest of the world? You might stay in the country where you are. Doesn't make any sense. You coming here to sell goods to all the rest of the world. Only makes sense for you to come here to sell goods into the EU. That makes sense. But anyway, guys, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm the MC John Ribbs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.